Hey guys, good morning. It's Tony. Before I start the video, I do want to say please like, subscribe, and comment. If you want to join the Patreon, you can please join at www.patreon.com/but I'm not a trader. So the trades that I gave you guys yesterday basically turned out to a T, right? They turned out almost exactly how I told you guys. If you stayed to the end of the video, I basically told you exactly what kind of positions to take. And if we break certain levels, we were basically going to if you break certain levels, you were gonna break that second level, right? So I told you guys here, this is basically a short or a long. The short is gonna be an easy short, right? Which stops up here, and then if you come down here to 455 and you break, you're gonna come right back to 453, and that's exactly what happened. So we came down here, right? You did not bounce, like I told you guys. I said if you come back down to this channel trend here, we're not going to bounce. We're gonna more than likely come right back down. So we came down here, came right back down, and then we had this stupid, crazy rally at the end of the day. So we could actually end up closing bullish for the end of the month, right? As of right now, you are selling off a little bit. I wouldn't necessarily call this a full sell-off, but I actually posted this in the Patreon chat yesterday, right? So I posted that, and I'm like, I think this is what's gonna happen, right? So what ended up happening is that we ended up running to the upside, right? We broke instead of coming back down. You broke to the upside, and now and I said we were gonna come back to channel trend, and I think that's gonna happen, right? I still think you're gonna come back. So this would have been, some really nice shorts at this trend touch right here, right? So you would have been stopped out. If I would have taken the trade here, I would have definitely been stopped out around this level, because I would have not have gone up this high for a stop loss. So I would have probably set my stops like right here to take it down to a short here. Came up a little bit, came right back down. Yeah. So if I took the short here, I would have been stopped out. This to me was definitely a break in channel. So I'm surprised that we're actually down here. But for today, I mean, I don't want to say it's kind of difficult right now, because again, you're still in that, you're still technically, if you come down here, right, somewhere around this range, like if you come down here, you can either come down to channel and then pop, right, which I think is going to happen. I think you're going to have something like that where you come back down to channel and pop. Or again, if you break this channel trend here again, you're going to come back down here to 454, right? And more than likely, you're probably coming down even lower to 4531 and breaking yesterday's lows, right? So really, it just kind of depends on where we are, right? On this entry right here, right? So I think for sure you're gonna hit this trend here, right? Like 455.7. So I think you're gonna come back down here. I think you're coming down here, and then from here, this is a very easy long to this mid channel, right? So again, like I told you guys yesterday, super easy long. So you could technically short this down to channel trend, which I think is, like I said, there's like a really high probability that's gonna happen, right? So again, very easy trades, like I told you guys yesterday. You either long it there, right? Or if you break a 30-minute candle under this, right, over this, right? And by break a 30-minute candle, I mean like this, like you want to close like over, like that, right? That's what you want. You want a candle to close over like that, right? You close over like a 30-minute candle over like that, very high chance, right? You're going to end up coming back down here. So the trade that I would take for a short is if you do get a 30-minute candle close, right, you just take it down a trend. And you set your stops, like above the wick, right? So that's a 4 to 2, RR. I don't think we bounce, right? I don't think you bounce off of, right? I don't think you bounce off of this channel if you come back down here. I think you actually come further down. So my guess is you could do something like this, right? Retest this mid channel, and then come right back down. And then you maybe you end the day somewhere like around here, right? And if that's the case, if you actually come back down here, there's a very good chance that you break this, right? And if you break that, right? So I'm giving you guys exactly what I think is going to happen, right? Because you're not on any You're not on any kind of support. You're not on any kind of resistance here. There's no weekly, right? The support is not till 453, right? Your resistance is until 459, right? You're obviously right in the middle. So I do think you're going to come back down to 4557, and then either here you either long to the upside or you short to the low side. And if you break this, there's a very high probability you come down to this weekly support of 453, right? I'm just telling you guys that right now. If this breaks to the low side, very high chance you come down to the weekly resistance, right? And then we actually do come down to this weekly supports, right? This is what we're going to do. We're going to set up another channel. Very easy here. Oops. There you go. So I want to lock these down so they don't start moving it all over the place. Lock, lock, lock. Lock. There you go. So again, do we have any triple structure anywhere that I can see? Triple structure, triple structure. Triple structure. Not yet. We don't have any triple structure yet. But this 4 hour, right? If this comes out, technically I am bullish right now, right? So I would be more biased towards the bear side, but technically I'm bullish just because we're in a 4 hour bull cycle. That's it, right? We're in a 4 hour bull cycle. So technically going into this, my bias for the day will be bullish, and that's how I determine my biases, right? Depending on the 4 hour. So the 4 hour can be bullish, right? And like yesterday, right? The 4 hour closed a bull trigger at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So this actually closed at 2. So at 2 o'clock, I was actually very bullish because we were on a fresh close, right? And that's how you ended up running after hours like this. But you've had that nice little drop here. Again, this is an engulfing bear candle, so technically I should be bearish right now because this is a 4 hour engulfing, right? So this should technically come back up a little bit, maybe retrace to like a 4, 5, 6 up here, and then just drop really hard, right? But again, I'm gonna be bullish just because this cycle on the 4 hour hasn't ended for SPY for SPX, right? But this is basically what I think is gonna happen, right? And you do have and let's get rid of this to make things easier. And the thing is also, for the bull side, right? So I gave you guys, an idea of what can happen just, off of channel levels, right? On the bull side, you do have this, right? You do have an inverse head and shoulders. Technically, this isn't perfect, right? I don't really like taking, patterns or candle patterns unless they're absolutely perfect. And I would need this, to not have spiked up here, right? But I mean, if you're going to take this, this would be it, right? Like that. This would be your pattern. Very, very simple. And you're taking this off of the previous, either right here, right? I would probably, if you're more bullish to the upper side, I'd say you're probably taking this long at 4.553.29 or like 4.549.93, right? So somewhere around this block range, somewhere around right here. If you're bullish, right, you're basically waiting for this inverse head and shoulders to play out either from here or from here, right? So you're waiting for the drop, and then right here is when you take the long to the upper side. But I'm telling you guys right now, inverse head and shoulders is great, but if this breaks again, if we break this channel trend again, there's a really high chance you drop back to this channel trend here. And if we're already dropping, and if we break this, I think there's a very high probability you end up coming back down to 453. Again, I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying it's a chance that will happen. Personally, for myself, I have to be bullish right now just because that we're still on that 4 hour bullish cycle. But again, that's what I think is going to happen, right? I'm not necessarily, bullish or bearish today. I am on the bullish side just because the 4 hour trigger is still going. We're on that bull cycle. But it looks like you're actually going to be closing a 4 hour. It looks like that cycle is going to cancel out very, very soon. And we have an hour and 18 minutes to basically close this as a 4 hour bear trigger. And if you look at the 3 hour, I'm pretty sure that closed already. Yep. That's going to close in, 18 minutes? So look what happened last time, right? You close that 3 hour, right? Your same exact, it's a perfect entry, right? Close that 3 hour, and you ended up dropping, not a lot, but you ended up dropping 24 points in 3 hours, right? So, boom, 24 points, 3 hours, whoops. 3 hours, 24 points. There you go, 24 points in 3 hours. That's it. And if you do drop around this level, right, that means you're technically you're still in. Would this be still head and shoulders at this level? I mean, inverse. Let me see. Inverse. Yeah, it's around that range. So technically, this is set up right now to drop to create that inverse head and shoulders around this level at 459. So I mean, it wouldn't be a bad idea to long here towards the upper side, but I think what can happen is you do drop from here, right? Like I said, you either hit trend and you bounce. I'm not doing anything until you hit this trend here, right? It doesn't make any sense. Or you come back down here, in which you do come back down here, you have a very high chance of just coming straight back to like this other channel trend. But if you're extremely on the bullish side, obviously you take the longs here to play out this inverse head and shoulder pattern right here. So very easy today, right? So there you go. I'm, just looking at bias. I'm bullish. Looking at just regular TA. I have to be bearish right now, at least towards this channel trend. And then when it hits this channel trend, then I can like rerun my analysis and we'll see. Okay, from here, are we gonna bounce? Or are we gonna come right back down? So I don't know, bro. Make your own decision. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I think we have news today. I think somebody's talking today. I haven't really checked on the news on what exactly we got going on. I think right here. Let me see. Today, PMI prices. Powell speaks. Yeah, I wouldn't trade today, man. It seems extremely risky, especially with Powell talking at what 7, 8, 9, 10, at 8 in the morning, right? So Powell's talking at 8 in the morning, and also again at 11. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't risk it if you're trading right now. Obviously, like if you're shooting for like longer term stuff, right? We're still on that 2-day, but that 2-day is not playing out, right? So the price that I was looking for was anything under a 4553 for confirmation, but you're still like a full dollar above that. So, longer term, I wouldn't say I would short right now, just because things are looking extremely weak to the low side right now. Even for DXY, like DXY, I think is great, but I need this to close a 4. I need this to push back up. From this resistance, right? You have a gap right here on DXY, but I think if I make a decision to do something, it's going to be at the end of the day when we close. But again, you have this resistance on the dollar is extremely hard, right? The only thing that I can see right now, FXCM, yeah, the Nasdaq is dropping right now too. So I mean, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if you came right back down to exactly channel trend and you bounced, right? So look at that. That was perfect. See? Came right back down to channel trend and you bounce. If this channel breaks again or if this low breaks, right? We'll do that. If that low breaks right there on the Nasdaq, yeah, you're coming back down to like a 15,544. And then at that point, that low breaks, you have a really good chance at just shorting the whole entire, big tech market and, basically letting it go like all the way down. On the daily, there's your trigger for for gold. Yeah, I think gold is gonna be, I don't want to say crash, but my target right now is somewhere around like 1975, and I think I'm gonna be opening up gold shorts today at open, because the 4 hour, if you look at the 4 hour, right, the 4 hour is coming right back down. You're gonna close this before market opens, I think. So we'll see what happens, but I think gold is on a very, very good, very good top, and I think it's gonna come right back down. And again, I think perfect. I think right now I'm gonna end up shorting this ticker gold, and I'm gonna be buying a lot of probably $18 in the money puts, probably for late December, just to kind of see. And there you go. That was my target for this gold was actually to hit this on November 27th, to actually go a little bit higher at 1794. So as of right now, I am about 40 cents off, but for the most part, my forecast was pretty spot on. I definitely start taking profits if I was long, right? I didn't actually long gold here, but if I was long, I'd start taking profits right now. Like today in the morning, I would take profits and probably short this back down to like like a 1580 or something, right? I don't know yet. But yeah, I think I'm rambling on right now, so I'm not gonna go too much into this. We'll see what happens today, especially with Fed talk, with Powell talking, and then we'll kind of go from there. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.